All right, folks. Part of the reason why we couldn't have Devin last week was he was on tour with Corinne Jean-Pierre and, promoting her books.
It's a great book.
I thought it was great that you did that. I did not know that you had this kind of nice relationship with her. How does it, did you discover that she was a lesbian? Did you find out during the book tour and were your hopes dashed after that?
Constantly. I'm like her little stress ball where every time she's feeling bad or anxious, she just tells me that we can never be because she's a lesbian. And then she tells me she started to add to it that she's black. And I was like, wait, what?
What?
You're black and a lesbian? Next thing you're going to be a woman. Because I'll never know about that.
The two words that Devin knows oh so well are unrequited love.
With Corinne Jean-Pierre.
Yeah, you make her sound like she's Creole or from Louisiana.
That was my nice French. Yeah. Jean-Pierre.
The worst accent. I guess that's pretty bad French accent.
Yeah.
The Montreal accent, the Quebec accent, not so pretty.
Really?
I speak French, as you know,
Yeah.
but I cannot understand them. I can understand
Really?
the French, of course, and I can even understand the French from Africa, but not the French from Canada or the Creole French, which I don't know what they want from me when I speak to them.
Oh, the Creole sounds like a chainsaw.
It's
like, bonjour, everyone.
Originally I lived there for quite a while, but then I discovered there was not that big a Jewish community among them, so I left. Yes. Today, I want to tell you a cute story.
Yeah.
So I had big adventures over the weekend. I went to my college reunion at Stanford.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Undergraduate.
It was really fun and got to meet a lot of my old friends and such. And I had put in, it was all on the computer, of course, nowadays. So they ask you to put in all your information that you want to.
Yeah.
Of course, however liberal you are feeling about, your information. And it's a Facebook page, not Facebook, but a face page, I guess.
Right.
And you can put up a photo, and here's me with my family in Hawaii. Here's me, talking to whoever. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's me and the boys from, such and such a dorm. We all went skiing together last, 2 years ago. Okay.
Right.
So I decided that I was just going to let it all out.
Yeah.
All my conservatism. I thought, okay, I don't care what you think.
Well, you came in bold and
I came in
proud.
bold, and I showed not only my conservative stuff, but also all my pro-Israel stuff. But unfortunately, that's what conservative means today. You're also pro-Israel. Anyway, I put all this stuff out about my pro-Israel stuff, my daughter being very involved in Israel, my son being in the IDF, and my other son just having his bar mitzvah, doing great things for the IDF, raising money for the IDF.
Yeah.
It was fun. And I also put in, pictures of my being with Charlie Kirk while he was interviewing me back in May of this year.
Yeah.
And also being on the Will Cain show and, all these conservative things and writing books about God.
Yeah.
Right. So I just let it all hang out. I didn't care.
Nice.
And you know what? The funny thing is, and take a listen from this. Many people reached out to me.
Right.
And they said, thank you for being so bold.
Nice.
Thank you for letting it all hang out.
Yeah.
You give permission to other people to reach out to you. So I found out all these other people that were like-minded politically, and it was great. I made new friends. Had I just taken the safer route, saying, oh, here we are at the beach, little Johnny is 13, isn't that great? And all the cute little things, I remember the old days, at Stanford, running the dish. It's a running route.
Yeah.
And here's my dorm and all that. Okay. But everyone's so vanilla these days.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the liberal side of it, they're activists, they're fighting climate change or fighting Trump, of course. Here I am in the active stage. So I thought, screw them. I'm going to be on my side. So I go to my reunion.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of my friends. And sure enough, they say, wow, I read your page in full. You're very interesting.
Yeah.
And I thought, great. It's as if they were trying to bait me.
Yeah.
They thought I would say, yeah, well, I'm really proud of it. What of it, sir?
Yeah.
No, I just, thank you very much. That was great.
Yeah.
And
Did
one
they
of them,
disagree with you at all, or were they?
No, they were too afraid to, I think. And one of the guys who I remembered, a nice guy.
Yeah.
He was actually across the hallway from me in my dorm, senior year. And he discovered that he was gay.
Yeah.
His senior year. He came out then. And, he's been married to this guy for 35 years. God bless him for a long marriage. That's wonderful. But he wanted to make it clear to me that he had participated in 2 of the No Kings rallies, which was going on the day before. And I thought, okay, and that's why he missed the first day of the thing. Anyway, it was very funny. And I thought, trying to make a point of it. Like, okay, great, and I said, good for you.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you're pushing for your beliefs. Way to go.
Yeah.
And how is your husband? How are your twin? He has twins. How are they? And we got to talking about that, and we talked about mutual friends, and that was that.
Nice.
But you could tell a lot of people were like really holding back their opinions. Guess what? I've got opinions too, buddy.
Right.
So it was really funny.
And the one thing that we don't have is a king. So I guess they won.
Yeah. Oh, we'll get on that in a moment. Crazy people. Okay. So first things first, a theme.
Yeah.
If you are a conservative, letting your children become liberals is a form of child neglect.
Neglect?
How about that?
I was thinking you're going to go with abuse.
No,
but
I know.
neglect.
I purposely used the word neglect, not abuse, because abuse is strong.
Right.
But it's neglect because, what do they say? Friends don't let friends become liberal, right?
Right.
I would say that a good parent, if they're conservative, they have to take active steps to be conservative and to make sure their kids continue to be in the conservative ways as well.
Right.
That's the world we live in, at least in a city like L.A., New York City, any big city where there is a large progressive or liberal presence, you've got to be active.
Yeah.
Okay? That's the reality. It's a little bit like being Jewish. If you are Jewish in Israel, no worries.
Yeah.
All the holidays are there for you. You can just walk and passively be part of the Jewish community.
Right.
And the holidays are off. Shabbat is off. Everything is good. You know the history of your holidays. You know everything about that.
Right.
You don't have to be that active to be fully Jewish.
Right.
In America, and I think in a lot of other countries, if you really want to continue the Judaism, you have to be active in your Jewishness. That means that you really need to go to temple, as often as you can. It means you need to celebrate the holidays as much as you can. It means that you actively seek out other Jews who are advocating for the same causes as you, pro-Israel stuff. And that's the way it works. And you learn about the history. You teach your kids about that history. But somehow when it comes to conservatism, they say, well, they'll figure it out themselves. No.
Right.
They will not figure it out themselves.
Right.
So if you want them to be liberal, then do nothing.
Right.
Or if you don't care enough about being conservative. But if you do want conservatism to continue in your family, you need to take active steps. And that's why I say, letting your kids be liberals is a form of child neglect. Because what you're doing, you're saying, there's no standards.
Right.
You can live with no, everything is good.
Yeah.
Everything, whatever good means, because there's no, good itself is a standard, right? So, anyone can marry anybody.
Right.
Anyone can be any, gender that they want to be. There are no boundaries at all. Homework is racist somehow, right? Being on time is racist. Working out is racist.
Doing well on tests.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're really obese, that's groovy.
Yeah.
Cool. You're plus size now.
Yeah.
You're not wildly unhealthy.
Yeah.
And at risk of heart attacks and stroke. No. You are just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's this let it all hang out culture, which is not good for your child.
Right.
Okay. That's the last thing you want to teach your child, is that nothing matters.
Yeah.
Well, at the same time, you profess to say, well, I want my child to be a nice person. Well, what does that mean? How do you do that? You have to have judgment, and you have to teach your kids about judgment.
Yeah.
And that means saying that some people are silly. Okay, you use the language that's appropriate for a kid, but you got to say to a 5-year-old when they're seeing a man walk around like a woman and they want to know what's what. People are, they're very curious. So what do I do? What do I say? I'll tell you what you say. Later on, outside of his presence, you say, that man is crazy.
Yeah.
All right? What do you think? It seems silly for a man to look like a woman, right? Don't you think? Yeah, I agree, Bobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Have fun with it. And then say, I could feel like whatever I want. I want to be an elephant today. What about you, Bobby? What do you think? I want to be a brick building. Okay, great. So it is. You have a lot of fun with this.
Yeah.
And let them understand that their belief system, which is your belief system, is healthy and strong and better. It is.
Right.
Okay? The heteronormative culture is the best way. Okay, we cannot, you might not like that, okay? Those of you listening. But heteronormative culture is the proper function for a civilization. You could not want that. You could want to say that everything is equal to everything else. The homonormative or transnormative, if you want to make it that way, or to somehow say that they're all equal in every way, that's fine. Your civilization is going to collapse.
Wait, hold on there. Are you saying that if everyone was gay and no one practiced heterosexual activities, that our society will collapse? Possibly due to lack of children? I don't understand how you justify this.
It's a working theory.
It doesn't make any sense.
Although there are some people that are trying to somehow blend the genes of one guy's sperm and another. I mean, they really have to work very hard to somehow blend the genes. How about this? How about you just have sex with a woman?
Yeah.
And have a baby that way? I'm telling you, it's a lot easier.
You're saying not to play God.
Right. Exactly right. Don't play God. And fight yourself.
Right.
Okay. We all have our predilections.
Yeah.
We all have our challenges in life.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand, somebody can be gay and that's the way it is. But the Torah tells us that is not appropriate life.
No.
To do it is a sin. I believe that. I believe that it's a very challenging life in and of itself. God wants us to be with the opposite sex. And by the way, it's not just, everyone has to overcome something.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm somewhat blind in my left eye. Okay.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that.
Yeah.
But I make it work one way or the other. Okay. Then that's a small thing. Some people, especially men, are colorblind. They have to manage and navigate their world. You don't just say, well, let's just pretend that these people can run through red lights because they don't know what a red light is because they can't tell the color red. We don't give them exceptions like that.
That is a great example because we don't take away all color,
right? Because
some people can't see it,
right?
Like we would do with other things. Like,
what about hemophiliacs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot more hemophiliacs than there are transgenders. A lot more. But we don't dance around the world, make the world move around them because they're hemophiliacs. We don't put, bubble wrap everywhere.
Yeah.
On the off chance that they bump their arm on a sharp corner of a table and start bleeding. We just don't do that.
Right.
Likewise with allergies. At some point we say, okay, you've got an allergy, get your EpiPen, bring it with you everywhere. We're not going to not have peanuts or nuts or whatever the allergy, antigen might be.
There are so
we
many
just don't.
now.
There's so many.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's the way it is. Deal with it.
Right.
And I think that's the way it is with if you feel like you're a woman when you're really a man, you've got to overcome that. Okay. We're not going to play your game.
Right.
Okay. The whole he, him, he, her, his, whatever it is, it's all the stop. Just stop it. Deal with it. You were born with a penis. You're a man.
Right.
Okay. You may not like that. Work with it. Find a way. Yes, therapy might be a good solution.
Right.
Okay. I'll tell you what's not a good solution is chopping off your penis and taking all sorts of hormones to make you more feminine. That's not a good solution. Okay. No. It's a bizarre solution. and one that doesn't necessarily work. Okay?
Yeah.
Very few people, you don't see too many trans people saying, I had the surgery and now I'm just so happy.
Yeah.
Right?
No, there are so many complications to it too that they never talk about, because this is what it is with playing God. What do you do with like the children you try to create and splice and they don't work out?
Right.
Now you've just created life that's forever in pain. If they it's so much easier and better just to certain things you don't want to touch. You want to just leave alone.
Yeah. The whole concept of you don't have to deal with obstacles that life throws at you, whatever they are, perceived or real. And let's say the trans thing is a real thing, that a man thinks he's a woman. Okay, fine. But telling him, okay, great, we accept you as a woman, you're not allowing him the ability to overcome his obstacle.
Yeah.
We all have obstacles in life. Okay, here's a good example, a really great example. An alcoholic. Okay? Some people are just predisposed to alcohol. They cannot help themselves but be allured by alcohol and, sometimes bring themselves to ruin because of it. Do we say, well, you're an alcoholic, good for you, who am I to tell you to stop drinking?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and putting aside the dangers of driving drunk, right? Just put that aside.
Right.
The dangers of beating somebody silly, because you're angry at somebody and now that's not. We say it's bad to be an alcoholic. Period. For whatever reason, it's not because they might drive drunk, not because they might batter their wives. It's bad for you as a human being. It will destroy you. And we fully expect them to overcome it. We don't say, well, we accept you. Okay, my pronouns are alcoholic and not. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And so many other things. I gave the example of hemophilia and colorblindness, and what about deafness?
Yeah.
What about are we? If let's say people are slightly deaf, do we have to now make all announcements, at twice the decibel level in order to accommodate them? By the way, there are a lot more deaf people than there are trans people.
Or what's funny? Politicians actually, they have closed captioning, so it's literally written, but then they still have somebody who's doing the sign language of doing it. So it's like, and it just shows the absurdity too, where it's like, really, like you can't just
you can
read lips. You have the closed captioning, like.
Yeah,
come on.
I know.
In
fairness, some people who are actually there in the audience, they don't have the captioning.
Actually, that is a good point.
But the lip reading is a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. It makes them feel very PC. Fine. But what about blind people? There are many more blind people than there are trans people. We don't create a world around them. We don't say. They can't drive. Yeah. Do we allow them to drive? Saying, oh, you're blind, but that's you. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And they can't change that. They were born that way.
Right.
You can't decide that I'm a seeing person.
Yeah.
So everyone has their challenges.
Yeah.
And I often wonder, what would I do if I were gay? If I realized I had the inclination, the desire for another man, I think I would fight it in every way, because my belief in God is so strong.
Right.
That I would say, okay, well, I'm going to make this work. I'm going to find a woman and I'm going to make myself attracted to her, and these parts fit at least, so that's good.
Right.
And that's the way it should work.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is not a hypothetical. There are many gay men and women who, they fight themselves.
Right.
And it might be a struggle, but they do what they need to do.
Yeah.
And especially the religious ones. I know you can say they're suppressed. Oh, you know what? Everyone's suppressed one way or the other.
Right.
Okay. There are a lot. I want to beat up Devin right now. I want to kill him.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I just hate him so much, and I'm suppressing my feelings right now.
And the suppression thing is
God, I hate him.
The suppression thing is such a. We don't need to have. There's so much to life. It doesn't have to all be about sex.
That's right.
It doesn't have to be. And the older you get, the more you realize, oh, okay. That's not the biggest deal. That's not the only thing we should care about. And point. Putting people in this thing where one aspect of your life is the only thing that matters is cheating them of the entire life, the entire world.
Great point. Yes. And I make this point in my two books, Atheism Destroys and Rise of the Sex Machines, where I say exactly what you just said. Like the only things that seem to matter are things that revolve around gender or sex, sexuality or sexual preference.
Right.
And sexual identity at this point.
Oh, God,
And everything is sex, 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 sex.
Yeah.
The only way you can identify is by what you're attracted to and how you identify yourself. Really? How about my identifying myself as a father, as a Jew, as an American, as a lover of Israel, as a lawyer for that matter? Well, how about those things?
Yeah.
As a writer, as a conservative. Why are you deciding that the only way we should look at ourselves is our gender identity?
Yeah.
It's silly. And I might very well use that word with my 5-year-old child. It's silly.
Yeah.
Right? And it's a difficult topic because you're talking about something that's very mature, at least involves sex one way or the other. And now you have to explain to little Bobby, why this man is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay? And so you have to say, look, if you're born with a penis, you are a boy. Yes, exactly. Good job, Bobby.
Right.
That was really hard, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he'll smile. He goes, no, it was pretty easy, Dad. Yeah, I think so. I'm kidding around, Bobby. And he goes, isn't it silly? People can't even tell what they are.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
You can have a lot of fun. And look, this is not to say that I don't think these people, and on the contrary, I think all these people are made in the image of God. Even though I think you are flouting God's law.
Yeah.
And so don't make me choose between God's law and what you want. Okay? Because if you ask me to describe you as a woman when you're a man, you're asking me to violate everything I believe as a Jew or as a Christian.
Yeah.
Okay? And that ain't right.
No.
But that maybe that's in the entire game plan.
Oh, 100%.
By doing, this is what cults do, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I think about it, cults will make people do things that are so counter to their ordinary lives that, like having men who are heterosexual, completely heterosexual, have sex with each other, because that completely turns their entire world around. And now they've done something at the orders of the cult, and that kind of binds them to the cult. You understand?
Yeah.
Likewise with giving all your money to the cult.
Right.
Right. And praising the cult leader and everything else. They ruin their lives. But that is part of what's going on here. I think by this whole pronoun game and everything else, it was a form of a cult.
Yeah. Or once you can get somebody to make one little lie, you start to own their soul.
Yes.
And, a man is a woman. Nope.
Yeah.
Because that's not true. And you're not going to get me to lie. That's where it starts, that small little thing. Then they keep increasing the crime, increasing the sin that they force you to do.
Right.
That Satan does, yes.
Devin, what you've just said is so critical. No, really, it's so critical that I think we should wrap it up. And this has been the Devin Goodman Show. Thank you very much. No, it really is a very good point.
Yeah.
It is a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Once you get somebody to lie to himself, we've talked about this many times.
Yeah.
To tell you that you're something that you're not, and to say it to yourself in private with other people when this person is not there, then they've got you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the beginning of the collapse of civilization. Because if you can say that a man is a woman and insist on it, then anything goes.
Yeah.
I mean, we laughed about it before. I identify as an NBA, basketball star. Okay, ha. But why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Why can't a black man identify as a white and vice versa? And why?
Yeah.
Why can't a bald man identify as a man with a lot of hair? Seriously, what gives?
Yeah.
Or a short man can identify as a tall, whatever he wants.
That's what I do. Yeah.
A fat man can identify as thin. You get the idea.
Yeah.
Why is that any different?
Right.
Because in fact, those things are more possible.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, like the movie Tropic Thunder, right? Where I forget which character. What's his name? The actor who
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey.
Yeah.
He's a white guy who pretends to be a black guy.
Yeah.
And he does a controversial melatonin.
Yeah, maybe melatonin.
What's that? No, melatonin is the mineral.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Melanin,
Melanin. Melanin
yeah.
procedure, which makes the milk darker, and therefore, and it gets to play black. And you could. It's much easier to transform that way than it is for a man to appear to as a woman. I mean, at least a white man can with that procedure kind of pretend to be a black man. Anyway, I'm kidding around a little bit, but why not? Why not? I mean, and a fat man can become shorter. Thinner.
Oh yeah.
And at least you have that option. Yeah. And a thin man can become fatter, for that matter. And I don't know about the short versus the tall, but there's some things you can do.
Right.
Anyway, I think a lot of our listeners get the idea here. So I want to move on, but I do want to share with you my younger son, 13 years old. He was in class the other day, and they were talking about history. And the teacher was asking, okay, who knows what the Cold War was? And, a lot of crazy answers. These are 13 to 14-year-olds, okay?
Yeah.
And they're saying, well, the war, it was during a time of great cold. Is that
really?
it? Yeah. So no. Anybody else? And of course, my son is raising his hand. He knows it, holding it up with, the elbow below. Oh, me, teacher, me. He knows all this stuff.
Yeah.
And he explains what the Cold War, it basically started after World War II and it ended in 1989, 1990 with the fall of the wall. And he just knew it. And he was shocked that nobody knew jack crap about history.
Yeah.
And he's looking around like, how come I'm the only one who knows this stuff? It was so basic to him.
Right.
Now, in fairness, his first words were, I hate communism.
As he should.
For most kids, it was mama and papa, maybe. But no, I hate communism. Because this goes to my theme, which is you got to teach them early.
Yeah.
Okay. So this all started a long time ago when one of my file clerks, because of its circumstances, the number 1776 came about, and I wanted to use it as a code for something.
Yeah.
And she said, okay, what is 17? She knew that years were important to me. She goes, what's the importance of 1776? And I said, I couldn't believe, because she is fully American. She went to a very sophisticated high school.
Yeah.
She went to an Ivy League college.
Like Brown or Penn or like?
I won't say which one because I don't want to identify her too much. And then she went to a top-notch law school, one of the top 10 law schools. Okay?
Wow.
And she was my file clerk, and she didn't know that. And I said, how is it that I went through all her, education experience? How is it that you went through all these schools and not know that 1776 was the year that America declared independence?
Yeah. They
don't know forget about that. They don't know what country we declared independence from.
Australia.
You got it right.
Yes. Or Austria. I always get them mixed up.
Austria, same thing.
Yeah.
They're right next to each other, right?
Yeah.
But they don't know it's from England. And I gave them, I said, hint, we speak English. Hint. And so even with that hint, they said, Germany?
There's I can understand not knowing the year because I can get confused with the signing of the Declaration. There's certain things within that you could do, but who we declared independence from.
Yeah.
That's a...
No, if you got confused 1774 to 1775, 1776, I can kind of understand. But the answers that you get when you ask people, when did America declare independence, are 1947. Wow. I've heard 1965. I've heard 1850. Just random numbers. They have no clue.
Wow.
One girl in his class, going back to my son, said, I have a question. At least she was bold enough to ask the question. I got to give her props. Who won World War II after not knowing what years World War II was fought at all? Not even what century it was fought. And so my son says to her, we speak English. Okay. Does that help you? she just raises, hands up in the air. I have no idea.
Wow.
You got to teach your kids history. You got to teach them about the dangers of communism and socialism. You got to talk to them about how wonderful America is. how we fought the bad guys in World War I and World War II.
Yeah.
It was because of America that we won both of those wars. And that we pushed back on communism and the greatness of Ronald Reagan. By the way, these are fun stories. Kids love to hear these stories.
Yeah.
Why? Because they love to hear that their country is a winner country.
Right.
We're the good guys. Who doesn't want to be part of the good guys?
Yeah.
And the whole world recognizes us as the good guys.
Yeah.
Whenever there's trouble a brewing anywhere in the world, the first thing the rest of the world thinks is, what will America do? How will America needs to step in and help?
Yeah.
We are by far the greatest country in the world. The economy, everything, in every way possible.
Right.
Culture, freedom, of course. That is America.
Yeah.
And you point out everyone wants to come to America, while at the same time they say it's the worst country in the world.
Right.
Pick a lane.
Yeah.
And if you think it's the worst, then get the frig out.
Right.
I mean, just make it clear. I mean, at least those progressive wackos who decide to leave the country are somehow living up to their standards or whatever to their beliefs. I get it. I think they will come back anyway.
Oh,
They're just they claim to be in protest. By the way, these are very rich people who have a house in Spain anyway.
Yeah.
Right. And suddenly they're moving.
They're not renouncing their citizenship.
They're not. No. Bingo. If they renounce their citizenship, I'll give them proper credit.
Yeah, they've earned it. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to other stories. Israel and the United States are now to establish a safe area for Gazans fearing Hamas. Israel once again having to save the Gazans from themselves. Okay.
Wow. So Hamas suddenly is picking out people from, they're just fighting amongst themselves, or was there always like a
Right now, okay, so Israel has withdrawn a little bit to what they call the yellow line. It's still within Gaza proper, but they're giving a little bit more breathing room to run their own facilities and everything else. But Hamas, seizes the opportunity, and instead of building things and creating a new infrastructure, no, they're busy killing one another.
Yeah.
Okay, and Hamas now is killing anybody that they deem to be a collaborator with Israel, or just, against Hamas, because there are many factions among the Palestinians.
Okay.
So if Hamas perceives, Ahmed to be part of, there's another group, the name escapes me, they'll kill him, even though he's not necessarily working with Israel.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. They'll just there are videos of this now. Okay. They're committing the genocide that they claim Israel is doing.
Always.
So there's plenty of video of this.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is so funny. Like when people talk about Israel committing genocide on the Gazans, you would think that there would be some videos.
Yeah.
Okay. Even after the World War II, we had videos of what the Germans were doing, and some of the Germans actually filmed it themselves.
Oh yeah.
But you would think that they would have some sort of video proof. And now that the Israelis have retreated to some extent to the yellow line, you would think that they would uncover all these bodies that the Israelis, pillaged and raped and dismembered and murdered, willy-nilly.
Right.
Here they are, the piles of bodies.
Right.
No, nothing.
Yeah.
But we do have videos of Hamas killing their own.
So we've got this Hamas, I don't know if they need to
be beginning not to like them?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of their hate and their violence and their, it's...
All you were saying is give peace a chance.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
That's right. Yeah. Israel pressures Hamas to return the bodies, but Gaza's destruction poses a challenge.
Yeah, right.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
This is that's from the New York Times, a headline. Okay.
Really? It's the New York
Surprise. And another New York Times headline said something similar, saying Israel demands Hamas to return bodies, but Hamas struggles to do so. Like as if, we're right on it. Give us some time, man. No. Okay, that's the New York Times. Somehow it's the Israelis are pressuring these people to do something that they shouldn't have to do.
Yeah.
It was okay for them to keep the hostages and to kill them, of course. But now you're demanding them back? What's wrong with you, Israel?
Yeah.
Anyway,
they just don't get us.
They
don't
just
understand.
We're just an innocent,
propagandist
terrorist country that wants
and,
to, steal people and make their lives miserable. Why can't you just leave us alone? Why can't you just let us slaughter you and take over your country and throw you into the sea?
It makes no sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Israel, please, just let us kill you.
Let's try it just this once.
Just this once.
Complete annihilation of you just once, and then we'll be good.
Try something different. The Israeli government is considering limits on aid to Gaza to penalize Hamas for not turning over more bodies of former hostages. But devastation in the enclave complicates the retrieval of all remains. They're struggling, as you said, as we talked about.
They're doing the due diligence, but it's just...
It just is so hard.
Yeah.
Oh, those poor Hamas terrorists. It's like people say struggling. They use the word struggling in the same way that you would say that you're struggling to pay your bills.
Yeah.
While all those fat cat billionaires don't pay a dime. Am I right, people?
Yeah. Those billionaires.
Look, the previous policy of giving far more prisoners than the hostages we get back has been so detrimental to Israel.
Yeah.
It's not just the lopsided in the numbers, which is, encouraging them to take hostages for that. It's not just, it reflects that those lopsided numbers reflect how we, the Israelis, love life and how they love death.
Yeah.
They love it. They only want their prisoners back so that they can have more terrorists for the cause.
Right.
They don't care to return them to the loved ones, to their loved ones.
No.
Right? That it's an interesting distinction. We want our hostages back so that they can come back to their families.
Yeah.
And enjoy life and being regular citizens and such, because they're our people. Hamas wants them back only so they can rebuild their army.
Yeah.
And grow their army.
Yeah.
Second, however, I want you to think about policy. This lopsided number stuff, like 1,000 to 1, as it was with Gilad Shalit.
Oh,
These lopsided numbers not only encourages Hamas and other terrorists to take more hostages in the future, but it also encourages terrorists to engage in more horrific crime, knowing that they will likely one day be exchanged in a hostage deal.
Yeah.
So so they'll have less of an inclination to worry about the consequences of possible lifetime confinement, right? So if you do horrific things to Israelis, butcher them, and you get caught, and you know that there's a good chance you'll get caught, you'll also know I'll be exchanged.
Right.
Maybe a year, maybe 5 years, but I'll be back. There's a reference to that in Fauda, the great TV show, where one of the Palestinian terrorists, he's arrested, and he says, I'll be exchanged in the next terrorist exchange, hostage exchange. It's awful.
And then they have that story. It's like, oh no, it's in the Israeli prison. Oh no, and then they get the ad cachet with that too.
Right.
Yeah.
I played yesterday last week in my podcast about this woman who was a reporter, supposedly a reporter, saying Palestinian authorities, say that Israel is simply grabbing Palestinians off the street and using them as pawns in exchange for the possible hostages later on. And she's like outraged how outrageous this is. First of all, it's not true.
No.
Okay. Israel just wouldn't do that. Can't do that. It's a full democracy. The Supreme Court, if they got wind of it, would immediately order the release. It ain't cool.
Right.
Is the legal theory, I think, about that. But never in her words does she even think like that. Could that cut both ways? Like maybe don't steal innocent people and slaughter them, because that's what you did.
Yeah.
You took them off the streets of southern Israel, and now you're upset that Israel, even if you're right and you're not, Israel is somehow taking people off the street and Palestinians off the street and using them to exchange? Really? That this is offensive to you?
Yeah.
Where was your sense of outrage, your indignation when the hostages were taken in the first place? Because I didn't see you there.
No, and there was the switch and how fast the anti-Israel sentiment came.
Oh, terrible.
I wish we had like an organization in the United States that investigates intelligence, and that this one would be on our side of America and investigate how that happened, because that wasn't organic.
No.
That was funded, organized,
Of
guided.
course. No, we'll talk about that another time.
Sorry about that.
But
yeah.
no, but you're right. It was funded and definitely not organic. I mean, those signs were clearly pre-prepared. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
Interesting. College professors now say that despite the ceasefire, their activism won't stop. No.
Oh, God.
Of course it won't stop.
Yeah.
You really think that somehow that they're going to stop this? This is what gives them meaning, is to protest, to be angry, and to be angry at Israel. For the ragers, remember this.
Yeah.
Israel is the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Because Israel is the moral center of the world, and for that matter, of civilization.
Yeah.
Okay. Without Israel, without the monotheistic God, everything falls apart, and they want it to fall apart.
Yeah.
So they can't stand the accountability that comes with that Israel represents.
Right.
Okay. Here are the 10 Commandments. This is the country that the 10 Commandments came from.
Yeah.
Okay. And they want to say, oh, you ain't all that. You're just like the rest of us. You're not special.
Right.
And that's why they always want to bring Israel down. How do you like that theory?
I just can't believe professors.
It's the only thing. It's the only thing that explains it.
And it doesn't make sense that
Oh, you're impressed with the professors, are you?
Yeah, I am. It's so confusing how this switch happened, because that hatred, like that switch, that colleges became that toxic.
Professors have gone from being the erudite, wise, and knowledgeable people that are conveying wisdom and knowledge to their students to, and I blame tenure on this, by the way.
Yes.
To wanting to be loved by their students. Now, students are by definition young.
Yeah.
And they have crazy and dangerously naive ideas.
Yeah.
And what better way than to appeal to the students than by saying exactly what they're saying?
Yeah.
Yes, let's divest from Israel. Let's call it a genocide country, and having a bullhorn and people loving me because I'm saying these horrifically anti-Israel things.
Right.
That's what's going on.
Yeah.
So, look, I want you to take a look at, however, time to talk about the shutdown. Shutdown.
Are we still shut down?
Shut down.
Are we cerrado?
Shut down. Shut down.
Shut down. Done. Shut it down.
Mike Johnson says that Democrats don't really have any agenda to stop this. No. And this was an interesting point. I want to play this because I think you kind of like what I have to say about this, because it reveals so much about the attitude of the Democrats right now. Take a listen.
This is a moment of great change in Washington. It's also a moment of clarity and real contrast. The contrast was on display last week on the House floor. It was a shameful display by the Democrats. They are flailing, as is noted. They have no leader, no vision, no plan, no platform they can run on, because that was repudiated in the election. And they're in a panic mode right now. And so you see them lashing out. You see increasing profanity. There are many stories, many of you have written about this new track they've taken, the new strategy where they just scream and shout and curse at everyone. I don't think that's going to be very productive either. And you also see the contrast going on this morning. They either have an issue with reading comprehension, or they are attempting to run one of the most shameful misinformation campaigns that we've ever seen in our lives. We filed that the CR, the continuing resolution, on Saturday.
All right, so I think you get the idea here.
Yeah.
But the most important part of this is his comment that, gosh, they have no leader, no vision, no plan, and no platform. That's 100% right.
True.
I mean, but what I wanted to take, something that really struck me when he said those words, is that not having an agenda to stop this shutdown is not really the issue. I don't think that even Mike Johnson seems to understand. I do.
Yeah.
What's happening, why the Democrats are doing this. They're taking a page out of the Hamas playbook.
Interesting.
Okay? Because aren't they doing the exact same thing?
Yeah.
They're having the whole country be taken hostage. Give us what we want, or we will keep this country hostage.
Right.
People will lose their jobs, and won't this look embarrassing for you? Why isn't the analogy to the Israel-Hamas war exactly spot on?
Yeah.
They hope to shame the Republicans the same way that Hamas was hoping to shame Israel.
Yeah.
You know, I dare you to come in and do what you need to do to get these hostages back. I dare you.
Yeah.
Well, we'll call it genocide. And the same thing, the Democrats are saying that the Republicans are destroying the lives of people because they only want to help the fat cat billionaires, right?
Right.
It's fascinating. It's really fascinating. So as I said, I was at Stanford this past weekend, and there was a No Kings rally in Palo Alto.
Oh, poor King Charles.
Yes.
Poor King Charles.
What we'll ever do with him. So take a listen. I just took a video.
Yeah.
And I think you'll enjoy the end of it as well.
Yeah.
But it's mostly just a bunch of random people. And whatever you've heard about these No Kings protests is so exactly what happened here. They're all elderly. They're all white. Or like 19 out of 20 are white. Some of them are in wheelchairs. It was really funny. A lot of them had flags, California flag. They had the USA flag. I love USA. You know,
Yeah.
We'll talk about it in a moment. But here you go.
Thank you. Sure. What are we doing? What are we doing? Better than Got it. Salesforce. No leg.
Got it. Thank
Let's go. No leg.
Follow the penguin.
Follow the brother. Do better than Meta. Follow the penguin. Do better than Meta. Follow the penguin. Do better than Meta. Follow the penguin. Follow the penguin. Linux. I guess Linux is the answer.
Better than better.
I mean, your people are great.
You've been wondering what I'm calling people all day, right?
Hello. Hello. Best thing is do shooting town.
Hey, I like the Beatles too.
I think it does. You know the shirt.
I support the Beatles.
This shirt's a trivia contest, and so this is about an album, not a band.
Oh, the White
The
Album.
White Album is titled The Beatles, right? And this is the mono release in vinyl
All right.
25 years ago.
All right.
Yeah, a great friend of mine gave it to me.
That's what this is
He
all
was
about.
protesting with us just hours ago.
All right.
I love it. That was just me chirping in there about the Beatles. I'm like, that's what this is all about.
Yeah.
Because yeah,
that's
right. This protest was about everything. I mean, it's you name it. It was whatever it was. There was a guy with an Antifa flag as well.
Yeah.
But there was also a guy dressed up as a penguin, and they said, "Follow the penguin." You heard that?
Yeah.
So the penguin was leading them. There were a lot of people there, as you saw, a lot very elderly. A lot of them holding American flags.
Right.
Now, they were told to hold American flags. This was part of the messaging. Because, you know, they love America now.
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday they didn't, but today they do.
Yeah.
And, you know, I wanted to ask them, what do you love about America? What's so
Yeah.
great about America? I thought it was a racist country. You know, so I was about to go into interview mode, but they were kind of on the march, as it
Right.
were, and they felt very impressed with themselves. It turns out that while they were not so violent, which is very good, they are just boring.
Yeah.
and they say really stupid stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So in the end, they really had nothing to offer.
Yeah.
Like with the violence, you can kind of say, well, these people are angry. Okay, they're at something, presumably Trump
Yeah.
and fascism and such. But when they don't have the violence, they don't exhibit it,
Yeah.
then what do they have?
Yeah.
Right? You kind of see them naked because violence is their clothing.
Right.
Take away the violence and like you see what's underneath and like, wow, he's kind of porky and kind of like hideous looking.
Yeah. The emperor's naked. Yeah.
I mean,
it's
would
just,
we, if we were to protest as conservatives, let's say against abortion, or let's say against taking away democracy for that matter, we would not at the very least dress like that.
No.
We would rock normally, have some signs. I participated in a protest against the COVID mandates.
Yeah. I
wanted to open up the society again.
Yeah.
And we were all normal people. We had some signs, but all of us were normal. None of us wore masks. It was awesome. And the police were very supportive.
And I bet you guys, because every conservative rally I've been to, and it hasn't been that many, are everyone desperate to talk to everyone else.
Right.
Desperate to listen and talk about their own point of view. They're not following the leader.
You are so right.
You know?
You are so right about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, as I said, it's interesting how they were carrying flags and how they said they loved the United States. But what is it about America that they love?
Yeah.
I just want to know.
Yeah.
There was a story of this woman who got hit by a car, or so she claimed. I don't know if I believe her, but let's take a look at what she has to say.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Tiernan, and on Saturday after leaving the No Kings protest, I was struck and injured by a motor vehicle while leaving the protest. The cops here in Catskill, New York, took several days to get an accident report together. And they would not give me any information. They never interviewed me after the accident. I've been asking for information for days because I've been very traumatized by this event. And now, in order to re-traumatize me, the cops here in Catskill are telling me that it's my fault that I put my human body in the street to be hit by a motor vehicle. The people in the motor vehicle actually got out and started screaming in my face after they had struck me. I spent the rest of the day in the hospital having x-rays and MRIs, CAT scans on my pelvis and on my head. And they never came to check on me. They never came to ask me any questions. They never did anything. And now they're giving me a citation for being in the road. So, honestly, I think that's a bunch of crap, and I'm very, very upset because...
Okay, so Devin Goodman.
Yes?
What's wrong with this video?
What's wrong with this video?
Or better yet, do you believe her? Be very cynical.
I think there's definitely misrepresentations in here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
anything comes to mind?
I think she's definitely how do they say it? Neurodivergent. You know.
All right. So I'll say a couple of things.
Okay.
First of all, you can see the video. For those who are seeing the video here, she's standing up.
Yeah.
Okay. And she's obviously in some sort of location where she seems to be safe. She's not, filming herself from a wheelchair or anything else.
Right.
She doesn't point to any bruises or anything else like that. You would think she would.
Yeah.
Look, I broke my arm. Look, I'm black and blue everywhere. This is terrible.
Yeah.
No. And then she said it took them days for them to get a report. Well, this video was posted on the 18th, which is the same day as the actual No Kings protest.
Oh.
Okay. Oops. Right? It's very funny.
Yeah.
So she's lying about that as well.
Yeah.
And then she says that she went to the hospital and everything else. Okay, well, you went to the hospital, but you seem to get out pretty quickly.
Yeah, if it's the same day. Yeah.
So, I mean, you look like you're really well healed.
Yeah.
So all of this is a lie.
Yeah.
And it's worse than the Hamas lies. I mean, at least the Hamas lies, when they pretend to be dead, they actually have some blood on them.
They commit a little bit.
They commit a little bit. Then they fall out of it, and then they jump back in. And, turns out they're not so dead after all.
Yeah.
But here, this woman expects you to believe a real tall tale. I just think it's very funny. They'll say anything. And then that she gets hit by a car. I think that a car may have touched her. Okay? Went past her. And then and she kind of put her hand on the hood of the car saying, "Hey, I'm right here."
Right.
And then, the drivers got out and say, "You get the hell out of the way, lady.
That makes a lot more sense. Yeah.
That makes sense. And then she gets a ticket. That makes sense.
Right. Or she bothers the cops so much.
Right.
They're like, okay, you're in the middle of the street when you got hit. Okay, then that's jaywalking.
What do you expect?
They have to stop her from,
Yeah, she's inviting the accident. But it's all a big lie.
Yeah.
Starting from, it took days for them to get back. How many days? It sounds like minutes, you mean?
Right.
And there's no report yet or anything else. I mean, everything about this is a lie.
Actually, and also a hospital. She spent so long all day at the hospital getting x-rays. But, well, if you break your leg, you're not spending all day getting an x-ray. They're fixing the broken leg because they know what happened.
Exactly.
They were testing to see if anything possible happened to her. You're right. Yeah.
All right. Meanwhile, despite their claims of being so peaceful, the left, that is, the Democrats are planning to create an ICE tracker, meaning Immigration Customs Enforcement, so that people could figure out where they are.
Yeah.
And Pam Bondi, the Attorney General for the United States, correctly says this could endanger the agents. Yeah. Of course. 100% it could. What's going on, Devin? Why do they want these people to stay in the country? Let's dispense with the claims that they are eager to protect these people as human beings.
Yeah.
Okay? Because a lot of them are bad people. So what's really going on?
I cannot think of a reason because illegal aliens cannot vote and would not. So I have no idea why these politicians would want them to be there.
That's a great point. They can't vote.
Yeah. So it would never happen. And it has never.
Right.
You're right. But I don't. I think there's.
But I think you might be wrong about that, my friend.
Probably.
I just think you might be wrong about that. So here's your friend, Tim Maltz, from the governor of Minnesota, very excitingly signing a bill allowing driver licenses for all.
Oh God.
Okay, it doesn't matter what your status is. Here you go.
It's done.
A packed room at the St. Paul Armory erupted after the governor's signature made driver's license for all the law of the land.
So anyway, that's part number one of this video. Yeah. Now you're going to hear from this representative. Her name is Patty Anderson, and she's grilling one of the founders of this bill. And watch how she just takes him to town.
We give driver's licenses to anyone here. You don't have to be a citizen. You don't have to, which is a photo ID. So if someone comes in, they register, they have the driver's license, but they have an incorrect social or no social or whatever. So then they become incomplete. But if they walk in to vote with their driver's license, does that make them all of a sudden now okay?
Mr. Linnell.
Madam Chair, so the designation on the roster for someone whose registration had been incomplete, if they present the election judge with that acceptable identification document, that would clear the challenge from the roster and they would be permitted to cast a ballot.
Good. All right. So, and it goes on like this. And basically he admits that illegal aliens are going to be able to vote. Yeah. And that's exactly the game plan here. So your very cute joke is actually very apt, very timely. We did not even plan that, my friends. But, look, the game plan is simply because they are so desperate to get votes that they can't get it from ordinary, actual citizens. No, they have to steal it one way or the other and bring it in from abroad, from people who are going to be so thankful. And remember, it's we Democrats who brought you in. Wink, wink. Yeah. I wonder who you should vote for. Wink, wink. Oh, yeah. Right? Yeah. We're not telling you who to vote for, but wink, wink. Okay? Very, very strange stuff. Okay. We did promise to talk about your girlfriend, Jean-Pierre.
No, such a sweetheart.
Yeah, Karine Jean-Pierre. So she's got this book out. It's called Independent, a look inside a broken White House outside the party lines. Wow. Yeah. Burning those bridges, baby.
Oh, yeah.
It always works.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic game plan to burn your bridges because people will trust you later on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But the good news is she got a quote, a blurb from Rachel Maddow.
Oh, yeah.
Who writes, "This is a brave firecracker of a book." Okay, so,
a firecracker.
And I just want to say, it's really nice when lesbians support one another like that.
Wait.
Very
Rachel
important.
Maddow?
Yes.
She's so beautiful. Like, really? She's so tall. And
you would never have guessed. That butch look does not give it away. No.
Like, everyone's
becoming
a lesbian. Like, when did we hear about this? Like, I still have my teenage poster of her when I was. Yeah.
That's right. You can take them all down, mister.
That one, she just passed.
Anyway, very important. Also, the vagueness of the comment, the blurb, it's a firecracker, right, of a book, right? It doesn't even profess that she read the book.
Yeah.
The Rachel Maddow.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's a firecracker of a book. I'm sure it is. I didn't read it, but it's going to be awesome.
Or in sports, they usually use it for like usually baseball players who have a temper and they're always popping off and getting angry. Oh yeah, they're a firecracker. Like that's like
exactly.
Like, that's what I thought. I was like, is she a Latino baseball player who has a temper issue? Like
that's really funny.
But
all right. Well, there's a lot more to talk about, but we've got one of the things I have to really be very impressed with is Senator John Fetterman. Okay.
Yes.
So he's been really, really great. And I was really surprised when he was elected the state senator. I really wanted whoever was running against him.
Dr. Oz or something? Yeah. The Couturier.
And I still would have preferred him.
Yeah.
But John Fetterman has been really rock solid on a lot of very important conservative issues. Now, in his defense for the Democrats, he actually does vote mostly, I think 93% of the time along the Democrat Party line. So he is a Democrat.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the big issues that he sides with the Republicans about that are causing people to be very frustrated with him. But take a listen to a discussion that he had on a panel. And Bill O'Reilly in that panel questions John Fetterman on why he's still a Democrat. Here you go.
Are you a Democrat, though? And I don't say that being a wise guy. You support Israel, correct?
Yeah, well, okay. I do, and that's been isolating too.
All right,
because
but look, you support Israel, and the progressives don't, generally speaking. You are for a very rigorous defense against Putin in Ukraine, correct? You want to stop him, right?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, I would fully support. In fact, I just on social media, I encourage President Trump to provide tomahawks to the Ukrainians.
Okay.
I mean, it's like he is probably the only person in the world that could end this terrible war. And I think, why can't we all agree that's necessary?
You're not a wild spender. You want to get the debt under control. So why are you Democrat? Your party is against you on all three of those issues.
Well, I mean, a lot of the things that maybe I really believe in calling balls and strikes, and I think I want to follow the truths.
Why aren't you an independent then?
Well, I mean, those are some independent thoughts, but overall, I mean, you have to pick one side, Republican, Democrat. That's always been my party.
Okay, so you get the idea.
Yeah.
What's interesting is the first thing that Bill O'Reilly says, you side with Israel.
Yeah.
And he says it as one example of three major issues that John Fetterman believes.
Yeah.
And, people just let that slide. That's such an important thing. Bill O'Reilly is correct, however, that to be pro-Israel today means that you're probably a Republican. There are very few Democrats, at least the non-Jewish ones, who support Israel.
Right.
In fact, I don't know of any non-Jewish Democrat who supports Israel.
Yeah.
I'm sure they exist. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you could probably point to one or two. I don't know any.
Right.
Now, I know a lot of Jews who are supportive of Israel and very supportive and know that they're being maligned in the press and everything else, and the Hamas is an evil enterprise and there's no genocide happening. But that's because they're Jews and they know the history of Israel. They know it really well. But here's John Fetterman, and that little comment really raised an eyebrow with me. Wow, has it gone that far? Is the question.
Yeah,
and I think it has.
Yeah,
because back in 2012, and I predicted this. I said because when I forget who it was Villaraigosa, he was the mayor of Los Angeles at the time.
Horrible.
And he was leading the Democrat National Convention.
Yeah.
And they were going to amend the Democrat platform that the Jerusalem should be the capital of Israel.
Right.
Okay. This is way before Trump moving the embassy to Jerusalem, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
And so he called out for a floor vote of ayes and nays, and most people didn't want that to happen. They didn't want to agree that Jerusalem was the capital of Israel.
Right.
Okay, so that's a big problem.
Yeah.
And then he said, okay, we also want to say that God is the center of our civilization, something like that. I forget the exact words.
That was actually his platform that he wanted? Wow.
Something like that. It was something about God.
That actually is cool, yeah.
Yeah. And he wanted to show those wascally Republicans that they were not all atheists. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And that was also shot down.
Yeah.
Really tragic. I mean, it was really a very interesting moment.
Wow.
That was so telling. And I thought, this is going to be a very anti-Israel party very soon. It was already, I mean, the people who, there were many more anti-Israel people in the Democrat Party than there were in the Republican Party.
Yeah.
It's really minute in the Republican Party. Notwithstanding Tucker Carlson, notwithstanding Candace Owens, it's a very small group of people who are actively anti-Israel talking about genocide. It's all garbage.
Right.
Among the Democrats, it's actually very, very big. And now that needle has gone almost a full tilt to the far right of this meter.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm very concerned about that. But Bill O'Reilly picked up on that.
Yeah.
And John Fetterman doesn't disagree with him.
Right.
He doesn't say, listen, a lot of Democrats love Israel. I'm not the only one. Okay. But he accepts that characterization, that the Democrats are not for Israel. And that is a distinguishing feature. That makes him an oddball, that he loves Israel.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
It really is
Things are different.
Yeah.
Yep. Take a listen also to what John Fetterman has to say about why the Democrats have lost.
Yeah.
And that Trump is not an autocrat. Very interesting.
Never going to change my party, but clearly we've lost the argument, and right now I think it's entirely appropriate to really be honest and just figure out why exactly have we effectively lost 2 out of the last 3 cycles, and a lot of the things we've really kind of really lost our connection with American voters in ways. And I think we can't just be, well, Trump is always wrong, or that we're going to set the country on fire or whatever. That's just not true either, of course. But, when I represent a state like Pennsylvania, that keeps you honest. And you always can't forget that a lot of Americans happen to disagree with you. That does not mean that they are fascists or now they want to shred the Constitution.
Okay, so he said it really well. And the man is very articulate. He really says it, very aptly. We've got a problem. We should not be in this position. And it's not just him.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, some of the media, the famous liberal media in particular, are saying exactly the same thing. Take a listen to what you hear from Fareed Zakaria, famous, I believe, from CNN.
Yeah.
And he's got his own show and everything else. But listen to how he attacks the Democrat Party.
But I think. To be fair, this is actually... I was being fair. No, this is a huge Democratic Party problem. If you look at Democratic cities, they are terribly run. They have incredibly high taxes. It is impossible to build, so the cost of housing... Let me finish. I'll give you a chance. The cost of housing is crazy in places like New York and Chicago. If you look at Democratic states, you go to look at New York versus Florida, okay? Roughly the same population. The budget of New York State is twice that of Florida. What do they have? With streets paved with gold? I live in New York. I pay the highest taxes in New York. You get nothing for it. And I think that is the image people have of the Democratic Party. Lots of taxes, lots of regulation, but nothing gets done.
Hey,
and I think
I live in L.A.
Right. Listen, the Democrats have to own this and realize the answer to everything is not more taxes, more regulation. People are fed up of that, and they feel that it isn't working.
The Democrats, look, as somebody who produced the best graduation growth.
All right. So he's talking more or less to Rahm Emanuel, the former mayor of Chicago, former chief of staff for Obama. And another thing is, of course, he's a prominent Democrat. But Fareed Zakaria is really calling it out and saying we are really in big trouble here.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, this may be too late sort of conversations. Fareed Zakaria is having a coming to Jesus moment with his fellow Democrats. I don't know that other people want to participate.
Right.
I mean, it's a little bit like an intervention, and there's only so many people who are attending the intervention. I mean, it's worthwhile if the intervention has 10 people who love you, and they say, Bobby, we want you to come talk to us for a second.
Yeah.
Please have a seat. Right? But it's only one person,
Right.
maybe two. It's not going to be as effective. And I think Fareed Zakaria, and for that matter, John Fetterman, there are just too few in terms of the number of voices that Democrats really need to hear.
Yeah.
And why can't they listen to this and say, we really are in trouble? And instead, what they say, they don't talk about the issues and say, like, our arguments are stupid.
Yeah.
Which they should be saying.
Right.
They instead say, well, how many people are going to vote for us? And what are the demographics? And, why did we lose? Well, we need to, touch upon the issues of the young people. That's how they think.
Yeah.
How do we get more votes? And hence the illegal immigration that we talked about. So, but instead of saying, how about, I have an idea, somebody's, alone in the big classroom.
Right.
Like my son, holding up his hand, and nobody's saying, yes, you, sir, you tell me what. And somebody's like, call on me, please, call on me. And finally he gets called on and he says, maybe it's what we're espousing. Maybe it's what we're saying. Maybe it's the issues that we are advancing that are just crazy.
Yeah.
Have you thought about that, everyone? Maybe we're crazy people.
Yeah.
And the world thinks that we're crazy.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why we're losing. As John Fetterman said, that 2 out of the last 3 political cycles, I would argue 3 out of the last 3 cycles.
Yeah.
It's not looking good for the Dems. They don't seem to have, like Mike Johnson said, we have no agenda, no plan, no whatever. I mean, he said all those things, and he's right. They don't. They just have, their only agenda is stop Trump.
Right.
And it's getting to be silly at a certain point. And what happens at the end of Trump's second administration, when he does leave the White House, because he will, of course. You don't want him to, do you?
Yeah, no.
But look, if there were no limitation on that, I would love him to have a third term if he would be willing. But that doesn't make him a dictator.
Right.
FDR had 4 elections and he won 4 elections. He wasn't a dictator. I don't think he wanted to be.
Yeah.
But that's another story. But the point is, it would not make him a dictator. Here, Trump is going to be leaving after his second administration. What will they say then?
Oh,
I guess we were wrong? No.
No.
They're not going to say that.
They're going to say J.D. Vance is 1,000 times worse.
Yes.
J.D. Vance is worse than Hitler. And that's all they're going to do. And they did that with W. Bush. They did that with Herbert Walker Bush.
Right.
This is the worst person now. And that's all they have. It's so... They used to have, like... Obama had Obamacare. He had some things he cared about. They literally have, like you're saying, nothing.
Nothing.
Like really palpably, like nothing.
We should have a show, by the way, on Obamacare and like what has happened to Obamacare. How effective has it been? Obviously, it's been a disaster, right? It's like one of those movies at the end of like American Graffiti and all those where they tell you what has happened of this particular character in the movie later on. This man became a senator or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Obamacare?
Yeah.
Right? It's a disaster.
Horrible.
I know that you're paying a lot more for insurance. I'm paying a lot more
Yeah.
for insurance. I'm paying 4 times the amount that I was before.
Yeah.
Okay. No thanks to Obamacare.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess thanks to Obamacare. That's exactly what's happening. All right. I want to talk about one more story. Well, maybe 2.
Yeah.
The Russia-Ukraine thing. I feel like I haven't spoken as much about this war because it's very frustrating.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's like watching the back and forth of a tennis match.
Yeah.
Or a basketball game. You don't know who's going to win until the end of the tournament, right?
Yeah.
That's the way it is. And I'm frustrated. I mean, Putin is a madman. I think that Zelensky is corrupt.
Yeah.
And they both want to. I mean, look, I think Putin is the bad guy here. I make no mistake. He shouldn't have invaded Ukraine, but I don't have that much love for Ukraine either.
Yeah.
Okay. Ukrainians were not so good to my people, your people. But at the same time, that doesn't mean they deserve to be invaded like that.
No.
So I vote for Ukraine, so to speak, in this conflict. But I don't know how it's going to turn out. you're talking about one madman versus a corrupt man. We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. I really don't have any analysis other than that. New York Times claims that Trump is demolishing the East Wing of the White House. Just for kicks and giggles.
Oh, man.
Because, the New York Times doesn't say why he's demolishing. He's just doing it for fun.
Yeah.
Because, don't you want to demolish stuff? Isn't that they like a little kid. They like to demolish buildings.
So, future presidents will never have an East Wing.
Yes.
We'll talk about it in folk songs.
He's doing it. You know what? They gave him the sledgehammer and he's demolishing it because, damn it, he's the president and he gets to have fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the way they want to portray it. Not because it's the East Wing is not being used at all.
Yeah.
It's just empty space and could be used for much better and higher use, like, say, a ballroom, which is exactly what they want to do.
Wow.
But I'll tell you what, even using your interpretation, I'm talking about to the left's interpretation of what's what with the White House, that he's just demolishing for the fun of it.
He's a builder. That's what he does. Not a demolisher.
I think that you, the left, is still getting the better end of the deal.
Yeah.
Why do I say that? Well, if you're saying that Trump is demolishing the White House for kicks, but you guys are demolishing the whole country.
Yeah.
So I really think that you're getting the better end of the deal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And guess what? I mean, just like Fareed Zakaria, he just proved that point.
Yeah.
Fascinating stuff. All right. I wanted to talk about Katie Porter and the stuff that's going on.
Oh, what a beautiful woman.
But
yeah.
I really
inside and out. Yeah.
Attracted to her. It's not just her beauty.
Yeah.
And her plus size that draws me to her. It's also her personality.
100%.
Her kindness.
Yeah.
Yes, it's really. Some lucky man is with her. That's all I can say, whoever he is. All right, my friends. With that very somber and wise note, I think we'll call it quits for the day. Barak Lurie signing off, saying God bless, be strong, and we'll talk with you next week.